Damn, I hate being late for parties. So I ordered my fly lens about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and it took forever just to ship. Just sat there. Anyway, finally it's arrived. I've taken the plastic off this one. I'm not going to do a full unboxing and going through all the specs, as I say, very, very late to the party. It's been done over and over before by the big channels. What I will do is install my DJI O3 that I ordered a few weeks prior, wondering what to install it into. And then 2 weeks after that, the fly lens came out, and I was quite happy because I really liked the size and design more than the Pavo Picos and that sort of thing. I think this will be a lot better in terms of sizing and not quite too small, where your battery and your flight time is going to be pretty, I would say, useless for me anyway. So what I want to do, quick build, go over some thoughts of my own. We'll do a little bit of a flight and see how the performance is. A couple other things I did order along with this was the ND filters. Absolutely want these for the best non-jello flight experience. And I do like a little bit of cover in case that prop guard breaks. It is not very sturdy, I have to be honest, but then again, it is small. I will say about this fly lens, the first thing I noticed when I got it is that, in my opinion, the COB LED is fantastic, but the Cinebot, I think, was the original instigator for that. I think the default color here is the blue, and I ordered a spare red set, which I think will look pretty cool. A little Star Wars-ish. And then I got some nice blue spare props in case they break, or we just want to make it look a little more pretty. One thing to note, if anyone's going to go buy the Lite or the Ultra Lite, if they call it that, is that the O3 data cable isn't actually included by default. So I had to buy this separately. You don't need to worry too much if you're buying the fly lens, because it actually comes with one installed. And prior to this arriving, I queried Flywoo about this, and they confirmed that it comes with a fly lens. But if you're going to buy this to install into anything else, it's not even listed here as included. So make sure you get one of these if you're waiting for one of these to install into some other build. So I'll be putting Crossfire in here like every one of my other rigs. I see they give you this attached or included cable that is pre-soldered. It's got an S-bus in here, which we won't be using. You'd use that, I guess, if you're using your remote controller for DJI, plug and play. So I'll be taking this off and then desoldering the one cable, maybe even shortening that, I'll see. And I do see they've actually included a little TPU piece to slide my Crossfire in there. Let's take a closer look. Quick and easy disassembly, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, which screw down into this little O3 container, and you are open. So taking a closer look, once I've pulled my prop guard off, is that they have given you a little plug for your COB LED, which is really neat, because if you don't want it on all the time, you can just unplug it before flight, after flight, if you don't want it to be too loud, too bright. I was also thinking, if you're doing fly-throughs in a house, you don't want your bright pink, orange, green light, setting the tone on walls and stuff as you fly along. So you can just simply unplug that. And I might use that opportunity to put my red one in now. I wonder how easy this is going to be. And I guess the question is, if anyone hasn't done this yet, is do you need to glue this in, or does it simply friction fit? I'm going to give that a go now and see. So the actual COB LED is one of those, I don't know, 3M stickies. Wonder how easy it's going to be to push it in. So I've started here. You can only put it into one side because it's closed here. And slowly pulling the tape back. It's not an easy press, but it's going in all right. I would have thought that the glued part might be a little bit more sticky, trying to get in. But so far so good. Take a little while, but once it's in, I have noticed my COB LED has actually got a little crack here. I don't know if you can see that. Shouldn't affect it or cut off any electricity, but I don't know if that's by design or came faulty. Hopefully not faulty. Well, that was pretty painless. I'd say 2 minutes of pressing that in. I did start at the beginning of my groove here. I should have dropped it 0.5 centimeter and I would have come perfectly in line. I doubt whether that's going to make very much difference in terms of the overall effect of lighting. And now we'll use the red instead of the blue to start. Quick tip, taking the wires that I've cut the S-bus off, so ground, TX, RX and 5 volt, just put a bit of blue tack and press stick on the bottom of my receiver, on the bottom of my working space, and then slowly one at a time solder those on. Here is our little TPU provided mount already, which will fit the Crossfire well, using this little mini mortal, I think it's a Beta FPV 858 or 915 megahertz antenna, and we'll get that thing fitted in. So another problem, that aerial doesn't mount nicely. The TPU that's provided here doesn't allow it to bend directly down, and then your aerial is going to be short. So I need to come up with a solution to try and get that right. Also, the receiver can't go in this way, so I'm going to loosen this up, push it through the other way, which also brings it reasonably short to have your UFL plugged in from your antenna. I do have an actual TBS mini mortal, but the cable on that seems to be a little bit shorter than the Beta FPV one. So I have a problem. Either I need to find a new mount or come up with a different way to actually mount what I've got. Solution found without having to design up or merge up any additional models. Just cut down in a V and slice that piece off, which opens up that hollow. And then I did a little nibble off the back here so that the aerial has got a little bit more clearance. Linked the aerial onto it, shrink up, and then force through, and we're actually just going to make it perfectly. Perfect. No excess cables, all tucked out there nicely, screwed in, and that aerial's actually looking pretty decent. So that is a lot of cable to try and fit into a small compartment like that. So it's going to take some maneuvering. Doesn't take long for things to get really tight in here. So our little job we did with this cable, luckily we had a slight bit of slack here, because once you put this little TPU mount in with your DJI O3 UFL cables, it needs a little bit more length. So we've plugged our O3 Lite in here. Going to connect these UFLs and find out which way is best to orient this thing before the cap comes on. Right, so we're going to obey the quad rules and take off the props before we plug anything in. Let me grab one of the two 1000 milliamp 2S batteries that I ordered with this. So the 750 TPU mount will go. And let's see what the lights look like with the red. And hope we don't see any magic smoke. Oh man, I do like that. Oh, I think the red is the winner. Have to get some lights off a little later and get a proper look. Very, very nice. Love it. So putting it together was okay. It wasn't as difficult as it looked, to be honest. I can still do a little bit of neatening up with these O3 antenna cables. I can bend them in a little bit more. The long MIPI cable connecting the O3 camera and the flight unit also needs a little bit of tucking. Just make sure that it doesn't come out mid-flight, but it actually really wasn't as difficult as I thought. It was basically one loop, and it seems to be okay. This little plastic shell that holds the O3 I can see being the first thing to break. It's extremely thin plastic. Quite disappointed in the quality actually, especially with the price that you pay for something like this. So I see you can mount the O3 in here and secure it more. As you can see, it's loose, but it ain't going anywhere. And to be honest with you, I think it's not worth the hassle of taking it apart, putting 4 screws in and bolting it in, because I can see myself ordering a couple more of these I'm pretty sure someone will do something with a TPU replacement maybe. That'll be a lot more durable. So now it's into the PC, double checking everything is set up, seeing my camera works and my OSD elements are correct, and binding my crossfire. So the build and configuration is done. I put my blue props on after programming in my PC. I can say that these little TPU mounts are an absolute joke, man. They are so flimsy. Just to try and get it in the little groove and then twist it, I thought I was going to break it. And now the actual Flywoo battery that is supplied is supposed to fit in it. I don't know how you're supposed to put this in here, but I can tell you something. If you have to put these in and out every single time you want to fly, something's going to break. Either the cable when you're pulling, the actual TPU mount itself, I don't know. So I've managed to get that in there, but not happy with that. We'll have to try and see if there's a modification available. Gonna have to see that that doesn't hit the props, and see if we can get a little flight here. But overall, it's come together nicely and it's looking good. Right, so we're power on for the first time. I'm going to do a very short flight around the house. I have not hovered this at all. Okay, we're powered on. Oh, okay. Okay, smooth enough, smooth enough. I'm flying angle mode for the first time here indoors. I would assume you'll be flying a bit of angle if you're doing very slow moves. Okay, we are outside. I don't know what our signal is going to be like. Quite a bit of wind I can feel. Really doesn't handle too well in this wind. Whew, okay. Not bad, not bad. Oh, okay, the wind is blowing me. This is really risky. I could just go into the neighbor's yard by mistake. Whoa! Woo! Not bad, not bad. So out the box tune, I see it's got Betaflight 442, which is nice. So I've switched to HD OSD elements and just spread some stuff out. Quite smooth from what I can see. There's no wobbling or anything. Excuse the mess, but I'm pretty happy with that. I'll do a little bit of cat monitoring here. Do some kid monitoring there. And this thing's looking good. The weather's just been so bad here in New Zealand that I haven't been able to do much flying. And what I'll do is take it for a nice flight outside when the sun is shining and let you know how it goes. Oh, cable management, cable management. Nice one. Woo! Overall, it's a great quad. I think anyone's going to enjoy this for a lightweight park flyer, indoor, little cinematic addition to an O3 fleet, or even if it's your first quad. I think it'll be great. Definitely not going to cause any damage with this thing. It's well under 250 grams, so there's going to be no restrictions no matter what part of the world you are, unless they're really anal, I guess. For me, it's going to be an excellent addition to my other two O3 machines, which is the Flywoo Explorer LR4, which is by far my best and favorite quadcopter. Just so versatile. And then I've got the GEPRC Cinebot 30, which I also like, but I don't fly it nearly half as much as my little long-range 4-inch. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know if you like, dislike, got any questions, or if you've got some more information for me, fantastic. I'll post a nice long flight with some decent footage soon. Cheers.